There's been some good events this year. There has also been some not so good events this year.
Is that the one where they pick the wrong person as the winner?
Well,
Is it that one?
that would fall into a category for sure. If you were to categorize events, that was an event that happened for sure.
Is that the one of the ones that you were talking about?
So then there are events that are in the middle that are okay but could do better. There's some that are okay but could be worse. You know, it depends on your outlook. Is the glass half full or half empty? Is the event kind of good or kind of shit? It's all really the same thing if you philosophize about it. You know what I mean?
Did someone pick the wrong glass?
Yeah, and do you know what I mean? It
And
just
ruin your entire
yeah. I mean that. You know, the glass would be half full. So all I'm going to say, and this is actually we're not alluding to any actual specific event, but if there was a category, you know, sometimes you categorize things, sometimes things go into categories, but you know, it's not. I'm not really saying anything with all these words, but what I am saying, ladies and gentlemen at home, is. I think, here's something that I believe, and you tell me what you think, and you also, over there, tell me what you think. I think we've got to be a bit more strict on, no, not strict, we've got to have a bit more integrity as dancers and event goers in, if there's an event that we don't like, and we look back and we say, this event was shit, or this event organizer did this, or this thing happened, or whatever it might be, and this is not any one event, this is like a lot. And it can be personal. I could love an event and you can hate an event. I think we need to be a bit more strict on not just blindly going back every year just because there's a battle. It's like there's a lot of events happening. And if you feel like that event organizer did a good job and the event is worth putting your money into, do that. If you feel like it isn't and you disagree and there's things that weren't resolved, you're allowed to not go back and to make your I guess lack of satisfaction felt with not buying a ticket for that event. And I think we just go back to stuff because it's like, oh, it's one-on-one popping, I do popping, and you just go. But it's like, also, where am I putting my money? If the amount of events that we have in a year plus training stuff plus all this, it's like it's like a little economy in a way, you know, like people are putting stuff into the scene, people are taking stuff out of the scene, there's money being exchanged. If you are putting your money over and over into every single thing that happens, you don't have, like, you're not really making a conscious choice to support certain things and not support certain things. Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Would you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. There was I think the kind of the tail end years of me battling, there was one event organizers events that I just wouldn't attend just because out of like my own feelings towards them. But I was like, yeah, like everyone would always go to their events, everyone, and I was just like, cool. Like for my own reasons, I'm just not gonna go. Like, and it's like you don't need to. It didn't ruin my time at all, and it didn't ruin their time. It was just a thing of just
a moral.
Yeah.
And also, it's like it's not. And I never heard you say this to anyone, but like, it's not that you have to say to everyone else, oh, don't go to their events. Like, it's not about like boycotting or
never
shutting down someone's livelihood. It's like, that's not what the point is. It's just, if you personally have feelings, it's like you can start to have integrity about what you choose to do or not do. Yeah. And then if enough people feel a certain way, people will get a message and they will start to fix up. And it won't be, I think one thing, I was talking about this the other day to someone, I forget who, but one thing that has changed since we first started is that there's so many events happening in the scene. And I think one thing that's good that's come of that is that you have to have a bit of a higher standard of what your event is in order to get a good turnout. Because before it was like, there's like 3 events in a year and we're not going to not go. Because it's like, if you're a popper, it's like, well, I'm going to battle 3 times this year. Like, you know what I mean? And it's like, if I miss one event, that's like, I've got to wait 2 months for the next event or whatever. I'm exaggerating. But now it's like, okay, well, if this event sounds shit or the marketing's off or blah, 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 then I'm going to just skip it and go to the next one. And it's not really that big of a deal anymore to skip an event, you know?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like from a younger generation though, and when you're trying to make your way into like the scene that is already established, like you want to have the opportunity to dance like
true,
all the time. So I feel like that would be a reason why, like, for example, I mean, not like I don't have any specific in my head, but like I would go to an event that I don't necessarily like agree with like the person organizing or whatever, just because like you feel like you want to be present so that people see you.
Yeah, sure. But is there a limit to that? Is there like, would you go to an event that's so bad that you're like, I'm not coming back to this next year?
No.
What
Really?
if what if in the middle of the event?
Wait, no, I didn't. Repeat your question.
Is there an event that could be so bad that it would make you not come back? Like, what if the event organizer did a poop on the floor while you were doing your
Okay, no,
prelim?
if something really bad happened, or like if I, yeah, it could happen. It depends. It depends on the situations. But yeah.
That's like, you remember that Sally Sloan one?
Oh yeah, the world team battle or something.
I don't know what it was, and I'm about to butcher all the details, right?
Probably.
So whoever knows all of them, correct it.
Wait, are you talking about Sadie Sly?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know the one, right?
Yeah, I know him.
Yeah. Oh no, not him, but you know his event that he did.
What was it?
I don't know.
It's called the World Battle or something. It was
something.
in Switzerland.
But it's like prize money and
Yeah,
judges'
of course it
fees and
was.
whatever. Like he just didn't pay anyone for anything.
I'm
And
not
then-
surprised. Okay, yeah.
Okay, fair enough. And yeah, and it's just like that. Like if he put on another event, I wouldn't go. Not that I'm gonna fucking go to events now anyway at the moment, but it's like, or like I'm considering it, but it's like if people are like, yo man, the prize money's like $5,000 or whatever, blah blah.
So you don't trust because of the
Nah,
past.
I'd be like, I bet it's not. Or for example, whether it's through fault of his own or not, like Bruce Akanji's events, like Just the Boo, it's like the last couple or whatever have been such a train wreck that it's like I'd at least consider it.
Well, I mean, if it's after the Paris one got cancelled and then the Just to Be Dubai and all that, it's like if there was another one where it's like, now come to Greece and pay for this whole package, you have to understand that the scene would be a little bit hesitant about like, am I going to pay £1,000 for this package when?
Especially with the people that paid last time, it was just like the advice was, well, you can still just have your holiday. It's like, it's like,
Yeah, I heard about that.
you know, and it's like, whatever you think about that, like no opinions involved or whatever, like, but it's just like you said, if the event gets like that, would you risk spending that much money or time investing in that place if you know that the recent history of it, or at least, is a shambles?
And I also think that's part of the responsibility of like older dancers, where it's not as much of an issue for us to, or just older people in the scene. You don't even have to be a dancer, but to, if you can skip events, what are we doing?
I sometimes just add in a little bit of visual excitement. It's just one of these. Just a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, if we don't have so much of that, then it's like we should even more be, especially as sometimes it's like, and no offense to like beginners, but it's like if you're the ones that are like, if the beginners are there doing stuff, it's like, all right, you don't have as much, your impact isn't felt as much as like these people that are in the finals of every battle.
Yeah.
It's like I think those are the ones that are a bit more like,
Yeah.
all right, set an example. You know, if you especially if you complain publicly and make Insta stories and complain about an event, which I do, but I try to also stand behind it. I also do a whole podcast about it, but I also try to stand behind it, that there's some events that, and I've done this multiple times in my career, when an event's done something where I'm like, okay, not going back until that's fixed, or until I feel like I get an apology or something, you know, if it's something personally about me, until the person comes up and says, yo, by the way, I always want to say sorry about that thing. And I say, you know what? It's Christmas, guys. I don't hold a grudge at Christmas. I'm coming back. Or it's something like something happens that I'm not happy with. Like, let's say this has never happened for the record, but let's say they hire a DJ that I hate. It's never happened. But if there was a DJ that I hate, when they hire someone else, okay, cool, I'll come back. Whatever. But you know what I mean? It could be anything. It could be like judges that I don't like. If you're a battler and you think, oh, the judging was horrendous or whatever. It's like, if they hire those same judges next year and you complained about them last year and then you go back and then complain about them again, guess who's the asshole?
Yeah, no, and like when you say about people complain online, I actually think that's fine.
Yeah, 100%.
As long as you've made an attempt at least to communicate that same message with the people who are responsible for your dissatisfaction.
Yeah, so like if you have if the judges are bad and you go and speak to the judges and you say, hey, how come this, and they explain it nicely and they say, well, you know, because of this, and then you say, okay, fair enough, and then go bitch online, maybe sase no bueno. But You like that one? I didn't expect that to make him laugh.
Oh fuck, that was really good.
Oh, thank you.
Wow, I'm like a big belly.
It's a mix of two languages. We're bilingual, baby.
Fuck, that, sorry, carry on. That was really
But yeah, but if you go, you try and speak to the judges or whoever you have a problem with, or the event organizer, and then they say, piss off, I don't care about your stupid worries, then you can go and talk about it online.
Yeah.
That's kind of what you're saying?
Yeah, absolutely, man.
If you've at least made the, because then if you're like, oh, thanks so much for the event, yeah, lovely to see you, see you, bye. Yeah, fuck this event. Like, it's like, bro, come on.
Yeah, just develop some fucking
A
self-awareness,
lot of people
bruv.
do that though.
But
Yeah.
then you get people as well, man, that'll fucking complain about that, and then they'll air their shit out on Instagram or
Yeah.
Facebook or whatever. Anyway, when like the response has been fine, and you'll see people and they look like idiots because they'll be like, "This person's a dick," and they kind of expose themselves in that situation because the person's. Like,
Oh,
"No,
I mean, the worst, this is also the thing, like,